So, what we call first phase is done, and now we move to the second things that we have to take care of. So it's our out-of-conference schedule. So I've been very impressed with our football team. I have all really for the last 9 months. I've said that before, and so it continues. So we picked our captains. So Raekwon Williams, Joe Bocci, Kenny Willikis, and Brian Lewerke are the guys. I think clearly that they, in the voting process, they were clearly the 4 guys that had abundance of votes. So we'll take from there and get ready to go. So I'll take some questions.
Mark, it is not tradition here to usually have 4. So were you surprised that the voting was so close on 4?
No, I sort of figured that we probably would be, but I just usually take the, if there's a gap, then we're going to have that. If there's 2, there'll be a gap. But I've never said, hey, we've got to have this or that. We'll still alternate guys in, so everybody has an opportunity in our leadership council to walk out to that 50, because they've all done a great job leading right now from that leadership council, and we want to make sure that we honor that.
Kenny had mentioned, I think back in spring, Mark, since he came back, that this was a big goal of his when he decided to come back. What have you seen that's different from him, I guess, in the last 8-9 months, like you mentioned?
He's a much more vocal leader. Public speaking hasn't been his trait. He was a little bit, didn't really want to stand up there and do that, but he's sort of gravitated to that. It's very genuine, and he's a competitor, so he'll come with it.
You all right? You got 2 returning captains. How confident are you about veteran leadership of this team?
Well, we've really got 12 guys that our leadership council is the same 12 guys that were last year, and so that's voted on not all at once. That's 2 a day for 6 straight days. So our team has an opportunity to really look at that and evaluate. So we've got strong leadership. I've said that before. We've got I think 9 of those 12 are seniors, and they've been here, done that, and been involved in some moments of great moments, of celebration, and then some other times where you got to pull up your boots a little bit. So that's a good thing.
You got Raekwon, obviously, a guy who has had some leadership skills and 30-year starter. What do you think the importance of leader is now?
Raekwon has been through a lot of things on and off the field, and so he's been through adversity. He's also had great success. He's made himself a tremendous football player as well, and he's a very giving and unselfish person. And if you're going to lead, I think that's where it all starts, because you got to put others in front of you.
How important is today as a break camp to recharge the team's battery?
Yeah, I think it's important. You got to step away from football a little bit, and you've got to be able to you have an opportunity to maybe go home. So a lot of our guys will go, you just can't grind them down, and you've got to get your legs back. So there's a physical aspect of it. There's also, I think, a mental aspect of it too. That got to step away and get yourself sort of recharged.
How do you describe the first few weeks before you get into game week now?
I've been very excited. I've told our football team today, I don't think I've ever had a camp, certainly since I've been a head coach, that, and not to disrespect anybody else, but our players build into each other, and there's a great feeling right in that respect, and I think you go places with that. So that's been very impressive, really, from January on, how they've sort of taken control, and every time we come out here, they work. So, and they don't complain about it, they work, and they go to work, and I think that's a very positive thing right now.
This is the 5th-year guys are kind of the last connection to that last playoff team, the last championship team you had. Do you see that from them, that they're pushing harder to say, look, we've seen what it takes, this is what we need to do to kind of get back to that level?
Here's the message to our football team. Every single player who's come to Michigan State since 2007 has a ring on their finger, championship ring on their finger, with the exception of the 2016 class. So there's something to shoot for.
From a physical standpoint, how did you guys come out of healthy?
Yeah, we're nicked up a little bit. Everybody's nicked up right now, but we'll get our guys back. We've got a couple of guys that, that might not be back for the first game or so, but our starters are going to be there.
Nothing season-ending.
You guys off for the weekend, come back Sunday and practice Monday. Is that the deal?
We'll come back and have a walkthrough on Sunday, brief practice. We'll move around a little bit more than the walkthrough, but we do have, a season-ending injury probably is Zach's Zach Slade. He has a surgery he has to go through.
Did you get any update on Jaden Reed's status for this year?
At this point, right now, no. We haven't been able to petition him at this point.
Do you have a timetable on that, or will you?
Well, there's some things academically that we need to make sure that we're able to get over the hump before we would be able to petition. So it remains to be seen at that point.
Anything else, guys? Got captain's weight too.
One more, if you don't mind, Mark.
Yeah.
With Brian, he mentioned that asked him yesterday, or the other day, if being a captain was important to him again, and if he thought he would be and all that. He said he's more confident in his leadership style and sort of what he's doing in that regard this year. What do you see from him that's different after being one last year and going through everything?
You know, I think that when you go through tough times, I think it builds character, to be quite honest with you. So he knows what to expect. He had injuries last year. He was, there was some criticism, when he did play after the fact. And I think at the end of it all, it's got to make you stronger. You have to use those things to allow yourself to become stronger and more resilient. And I think he's become that. I think he's had a great camp. I think he's ready to go. He looks very healthy. And it looks like he's returned to what he's been.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.